Okay, this angle, ideally we can see the guitar, a little half size, man, is something we gotta almost squeeze into the frame. I love this thing. This is Frank the guitar. Oh gosh. This is Frank the guitar. My name is Evan Strong. I think we gotta move it a little bit from where it was. Is that good? Even a little bit off camber, we just leave it? That's good. Okay, my name is Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. This is In the Image Clothing Company Music, and we play music here, man. So, what I'm gonna show in here is a little bit of how to finger pick. I'm a fingerstyle guitarist, right? So, fingers. Now, what happens when you're finger picking is you want everything in line. Okay, everything we're doing with the hand, you want it in line. You see all those muscles in the forearm moving around in there? When you're finger picking, well, I made a video you can check out titled "Full-Size Guitars Are Too Big." This is a half-size guitar, as I mentioned, and it's ideal. It's great size for the body, because now my wrist is in line here and my wrist is in line here, and everything is just nice and neutral, and my shoulders are natural, and I'm just playing. Okay, we want that. And then also, when you're picking with your right hand here, you just don't want to feel like you're trying to like get to the strings. You want everything to just work in line like this, right? See how my arm is just like laying down, and there we go. And then my fingers just bend and pick. And then, yeah, that's what you want. So I've discussed before, you need fingernails. Ideally, just all the way to the very tips of your fingers to where they're entirely supporting the pad of your finger. You do not want the pad of your finger rolling up over the end of your fingernail. That's going to just change the mechanics of your hand, traveling up into your shoulder and through your whole body. And it's just going to be very hard to play, okay? But it's damaging to the body is the big thing. So you want those two things to happen in your right hand. Now your left hand, you know, it's just pretty much normal. Same thing you'd be doing playing guitar at all. Now, when you're picking, Frank's a little bit out of tune actually, but it's fine. So when you're picking, what you want to do is you're gonna use generally your 3 middle fingers like this, right? Your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger on these high strings. Okay, the high E, the B, and the G. That's usually what you'll do. Sometimes people use their pinky, but I'm gonna show it this way, okay? I feel like this is most common for just about everybody. You'll use these 3 fingers here, and pretty much only there, pretty much. And then your thumb has got the E, the A, and the D, okay? Okay, now what I like to do is take my pinky finger and I rest it on the body of the guitar, okay? So if my arm's coming down and I'm just gonna start picking, I want my pinky to be sitting right where everything's just gonna be like natural, right? So my hand can just ideally be just pretty nice and well rounded as we talk about, and then just sit there, right there, and then play, okay? With the pinky just kind of resting. The pinky just becomes an anchor, a point where, because if you're just like hovering, it's a little bit harder. It's very, very out of tune. I was on the wrong strings. Like if you're just hovering above the strings like this, I mean, you can do it, but if you have an anchor point, now everything's fixed in place. And then if you're just like moving around, right? It's like you're still anchored to the guitar and you know where all the strings are going to be because your hand's just like, see that? It's just like right there, kind of pivoting on that pinky. But you want very, very light pressure on that pinky. And like I said, make sure that nail's long enough. Otherwise, your pinky is going to not have support to it, and it's going to be altered. And your pinky is straight out from that neutral wrist. And that really is what determines how your shoulder works, is your pinky more than any other finger. So if you're going to anchor your finger there, again, make sure the nail's long enough, so completely supporting the finger, the pinky finger, and then keep that neutral wrist when you place your arm down, okay? You don't want to be like clear out here and then trying to pick. You want your pinky as neutral as you can, straight out from your forearm when you anchor it, and then just place your hand from there, meaning everything at that point is just going to be in line and radiused as the hand naturally works with that open palm, okay? So that's really what you want to focus on when it comes to finger picking. I'm not going to go into more depth than that, really, because you've got these 3 fingers up here, and then you've got the thumb kind of moving back and forth. Now, that's it. This will be a little introduction to finger picking, fingerstyle guitar playing, okay? And because that's it, and then from that point, you can just practice. I mean, you can even mute the strings and just go up and down, okay? Or you can go with a thumb, right? You have the thumb on all 3 of the strings that it would go to, and then go up and down like that. And then just kind of get familiar with where those strings are. And then from there, just practice, right? Because now you know where all the strings are at. You got your wrist neutral. You got nails on your fingers. You got that radius in the fretboard, the nut, and the nut, and oh, here, and the saddle, right? Ideally, that's I mean, that's not only ideal, it's so essential to just allow your hand to be healthy. Otherwise, your rounded hand isn't accommodated for something, you know, flat. It needs to be rounded. And there you go. That's what we do. You know where all your fingers are going to be placed, and just practice. The big thing is try to not have any tension. Just kind of like lightly rest it, and then there you go, okay? All right, there is your introduction to fingerstyle guitar playing. Your left hand, like I said, we don't need to address because it's going to be doing the same thing that it will be doing no matter what else you're doing with the guitar. Keep it neutral. Keep that same, same neutral wrist straight out from the pinky. Put it on the fretboard, and then just play your guitar. Cool. All right. Yeah, today is the, it's almost Christmas, man. It's almost Christmas. Yeah, check out our setup video. I have that full video on full nylon string guitar setup is what it's titled, where you can find In The Image Clothing Company music. Make sure your guitar is set up correct, because if you're trying to do finger picking and things are at different angles from like down here to up here, or if, things aren't just set up as ideal as we can get them, then you're going to just have a really hard time finger picking no matter what, no matter how much practice you put in. So, yeah, when you're playing fingerstyle guitar, just when you're doing anything with an instrument, the biggest thing is the setup. It's not the practice time. It's not even your own capability. It's the setup of the instrument. So that's huge. All right, 21st of December, 2024. My name is Evan Strong, and there you go. There's your introduction to fingerstyle guitar playing. Just make sure you're not fighting your instrument. We also have that video titled, Don't Fight Your Guitar. So go check that out if you'd like, to just make sure that we're, I just kind of discuss what I show within the setup, that's what you're going to be doing, is just fighting it if it's not working to the best of what it can for you. Because we can't work our bodies around things. We have to do everything in life around our bodies, because they only work the way that they do. So, okay, thank you.